Hi, this is Lisa from Local King Rubber Stamp. Welcome to my channel. If you're looking for a channel that you can learn some unique stamping techniques, card making techniques, you are at the right place. This is the channel that I will make you laugh sometime, relaxing, even make you feel itchy a little bit. Did I say itchy? Yes. Hoping by watching all my videos make you want to bring all your stamps out and start making cards. So 200 plus YouTube video are ready to view. Make sure you visit Local King Online Video Library, click the card you like, and it will bring you to the YouTube channel. Make sure you check the YouTube category. Every time when I create a new videos, any stamp set merchandise that I'm using for that video, I'm offer a great special price and also the free shipping for the stamp set and the die cut set. So I'm going to use this combo set to working on today's video. I love to use the same stamp to create something totally different. So this is the tutorial number 226. If you like to learn how to make this card, make sure you click the link below and it will show you how to create this card. Every video that I have created, I always try to share some awesome stamping techniques with you, so make sure you check it out. So this is the video number 226 and then the number 227. The 227, this is a 10-second coloring technique you must learn. It's so easy, you won't believe. And then today's video, actually, I am going to show you some other techniques that I learned from my mistake. Isn't that awesome? That's started. If you are new to this channel and you haven't watched the video number 226 or 227, you can watch those two videos later. They have a lot of information. You definitely got to check it out. So material list is nothing fancy. We have to use the combo set. If you have the budget, take advantage of this special promotion. It's going to be end until February 25. If you don't, just try to use the stamp set that you have. This is the channel that I like to share all the awesome techniques with you. It's not necessary you got to have this stamp set. So just try to be creative and I will be very happy to see your project. If you can post the card project under the Local King Facebook page, that will be awesome. So material list is we are going to use a stamp positioner. If you don't have a stamp positioner, don't worry. Just watch the video number 43 and also I will put the link below. In that video, I'm showing you how you can use a DVD case or CD case to create your own stamp positioner and then it works just fine. And then we have a cardstock. This is magenta color cardstock. I am using the watercolor cardstock. This is a Canson watercolor cardstock that I got from Michaels. Always check when they have a promotion. Sometimes they have a buy one, get a second one for 50% off or buy two, get one for free. A mirror paper, I change the silver to the gold. I just want to try something different. You are going to need the one sheet projector sheets or the acetate, and I'm going to show you an awesome way to get the perfect stamp image on the acetate. Okay, let's start with the foundation color because it's kind of needed time to dry. So I have my watercolor paper ready and you can see I have tried few different colors on the watercolor paper. So first of all, you are going to, so I have a this silicone mat and this silicone mat is actually for cooking and I just found out it's awesome tool because it's easy to clean. Anything when they say craft special, they charge you double. So this is just a regular baking silicone and I think they work just perfect and it's not a stain and you can actually use your heat gun to heat on top and then it's not going to damage too. So I think it's awesome. You can find from the Amazon I think for under $10. Okay, so we are going to start our foundation color and see, you can see that I've been trying two different kind of technique to figure out the best way and then I create a video to share with you. So the first and then have been learned something I'm going to share with you right now. So the first, you want to keep your color simple. in the beginning, I tried to use a 3-4 color. That doesn't really work well. I actually found out you just need 2 color, even 1 color, they will do the job. So first, you're going to use this misty bottle to kind of wetting your on top of your silicone mat. Okay, and then you can choose the 2 color. That's a start with these very light yellow, and then you kind of just squeeze the bottle a little bit. We don't want it too dark. We actually want it very light. The lighter, the better. Why? I show you. This is the first one I make because it's kind of dark, right? I actually lose it's pretty though, but I kind of lose the flower shape. So that's why I learned I got to have a very light color. So I start with a little bit yellow, and I'm just squeeze a little bit magenta color. And then we're going to just spray a little bit water again. That's it. And then we're going to grab my watercolor paper. So the watercolor paper, the Canson watercolor paper that I got from the Michaels, if you take it closely, they actually have a 2 sides. One side is more smooth and the one side is a little bit rougher. So make sure you pick up the color on the smooth side. So this one actually have a little bit fingerprint. I'm going to change to the other one. Okay, and then I am going to just dipping my cardstock just like that. This is good enough, okay? You don't want your whole page like this. This, after I die cut it, I actually lose the shape of the flower. So that's good enough. So let's do one. And I'm going to just dipping the other one. Just like that. It's kind of messy job. Okay, I think that's good enough. And I'm going to clean my surface first. Okay, like this. And if you really want to add a little bit darker color, we can do that. But just to try to do a corner, you don't want this main piece to become too dark. Okay. So you can make a few. If you found out some part, like this part is kind of too dark, what you can do is you can just use a napkin, just kind of pick up that extra color. Okay, so that's going to be my foundation color. I'm going to put it away, and I'm going to just leave that and completely dry before we do the stamping. Or you can just use a heat gun to heat out, but you got to make sure they're completely dry because we are going to use embossing powder. If they are not dry, when you do the powder is all going to stick on your base. Okay, so you can see I have a lot of colorful cardstock that are made with this kind of technique, right? I think they are very pretty, but look, they are very messy. So I suggest you, if you want to create some of this card, just make a bunch of them and then you can always use them. So which one is your favorite? Which one you like me to, which one we should use? And let's use this one. I think the color is really good. Okay. So next, I would like to share some awesome tip with you. So have you watched my last few videos, especially number 226 and 227? In the number 226, I was showing you my $1 million tip. You can cut these partially die cut without to have any special die cut machine. Usually, if you want to cut a portion, partially die cut, you got to have a bigger platform, right? So here is my $1 million tip. What you do is you just insert your card, and when you run through the machine, the back is not going to cut. So I was mentioning in my video that you got to have a narrow cutting plate that you can you can just put the pressure on half of them, right? So, and I was mentioning that if you don't have this one, but I will put a link below, you can find these 2 pieces for $10. And then, but if you don't want to spend that $10 to get these narrow plates, you can use the cutting mat. So this is the cutting mat. You probably can find it from the dollar store for $1 or $2. And then in my previous tutorial, I was showing you, I actually find the cutting mat is $4, come with 6 exact knife, and I don't want to cut it. So I was also showing you how you can use embossing folder to use as your like these narrow plate to block the pressure. If you want to know how, just make sure you check the video number 226 and 227. I'm not going to repeat the same technique. Okay, so here is another tips. Should I say tip? No, it is something that I learned. I was laughing at myself. It's Lisa's fault. It's my friend Lisa's fault because she didn't teach me this is what I'm supposed to do. So I bought that cutting mat from dollar store, but I really don't want to cut it. But when I was using my Misty, I don't know, somehow I always don't get a nice impression. So I realized that my Misty is not high enough. I want to raise them up. So I had a piece of cardboard before, but I don't think so they are high enough. So I decided to use my cutting mat as my cushion. So, but my cutting mat is just a little bit bigger. So I want to cut it, okay? So this is some dumb things that I was doing it, and then I was laughing myself after like 10 minutes because I can't make it happen. I can't make a cut because this is a self-healing mat. You cut it, they heal. They cut it, they heal. There's no way you can cut it because it's self-healing. Does that make sense? So I said, duh. What do you have to do if you are planning to cut your cutting mat to create that narrow cutting plate? What are you gonna do? Do you know what you're gonna do? You are gonna flip your mat the other side because the other side is not self-healing, so they will be cut. So what I still find it is pretty hard to cut it. You kind of have to repeat too many times. I would just use my scissor just to trimming that because I don't want to damage my gelatin. So this is what I learned. You cannot cut these from the front because it's self-healing. So that's some dumb things I learned while I'm creating this video. Okay, so we are going to stamp first, and then, before we start to stamp your image, you can see the difference. This is a partial cut with my $1 million tips, right? This is also the partially die cut with a detailed image with my $1 million tip, right? So why when I create the video, I forgot, I just lost my $1 million tip because I forgot to put my sandwich between. And then it turned out like this. I would say, damn, I just lose my $1 million tip because every time when I use that $1 million tip, I think I am $1 million richer. And then after that, I said, whee, that's a good idea because it kind of create a unique edge, isn't it? So you can try to use any stamp, any die cut you can have, and then you can try to create this awesome. You have a different choices. Choose the one that you like to do. So mistake is good, and then you always learn from your mistake. So that's another awesome tip I like to share with you. So we're going to stamp. So first, I'm going to grab that piece. This is the piece that I'm going to use. So because I don't really use a magnetic sheet, like a magnet anymore. So you got to make sure this is secure. Well, I'm really trying to keep my video a little bit shorter, under 20 minutes, but I'm do my best. If you it kind of feel here is still kind of moving, what you're gonna do is just put a little bit glue, not too much, just a little bit glue. They will do. And then we're going to put our stamps here. You can decide. I think I'm going to put my stamp this way because this is the butterfly. I want to have a different color because my sample. Where did my sample go? I actually put the acetate on top. I'm going to explain to you why. So I kind of put my stamp over there. Okay, and then that's the position I want to do. And then I'm going to use my VersaFine, I'm going to ink it and I'm going to seal with a clear embossing powder. Try to not use the black embossing powder because the black embossing powder, this stamp is very detailed. So if you stamp it with a black image and then just use a clear embossing powder, you don't lose that detail. But if you use a black embossing powder, you probably lose a little bit detail. Okay, so this is what you're going to do is you're going to ink your image. And the secret weapon, remember in my last video was share this the awesome tool with you. This is for the painting, and because they come with a little handle, and I found out it's a very easy to apply. And then I'm going to do again. The reason we have to do a few more time because I am using the watercolor paper. They are not very smooth, and also on the surface we have some on those color bursts, right? So let's do again, and then we are going to do one more time. Don't worry if your flower is not pop out yet. After we seal with the clear embossing, and after we die cut it, they will pop out. So that's I think let's do one more time. And then one of the reason I use the VersaFine is because the VersaFine is actually dry slow, and then you can use the clear embossing color directly on top. So I think that's a pretty good enough. I am going to do the clear embossing powder. So I'm going to just fast forward. Okay, here is something very important. When you run through the machine, always before you pop out your die cut, you want to make sure all the back have a clean cut before you try to remove your the parts that you don't need it. See, I think that's really pretty. Maybe we keep it. We can do something later. Okay, and let's see what this one look like. Okay, let's see. Awesome, right? And then you probably say, Lisa, I think those flower is actually all the flower and the butterfly, they all blending together, right? So what are we going to do? I had the same question I was asking myself, say it's really pretty color, but in my butterfly and my flowers are all stick together. So that's why I come out this idea. I am going to add the not acetate, the projector sheet. You can use acetate if you have some, and or if I think it's easier to find the projection sheet, and it's thinner, it's much easier to die cut. So I say, ooh, I think I added that projector sheet, and then it looks much better. And now I'm going to show you what's the perfect way to get the perfect stamp image on the projector sheet. Okay, so the next I am going to show you how we can get the perfect stamp image on the projector sheet. So this is the kind of messy artwork. So usually I make a bunch of them and I choose the beautiful one and make a card to give my friend, and the ugly one I give to my sister-in-law. So don't put any like a fail one, just do a bit decoration and you can give to your sister-in-law. Okay, so I have my projector sheets here. So this is my projector sheet. They usually come with the backing. Let me go. Okay, so this is the projection sheet that you can find from the staple. In the back, they usually have this protection sheet to protect this projector sheet. You can kind of touch it. One side is kind of rough and the one side is actually very smooth. So we are going to stamping on the rough side. So that can take is much easier. So I am going to just trimming this one to like 4 inches like this. Don't remove this sheet, it's very important, okay? And then now you are going to just kind of put there. Don't put any tape or anything. Just leave like that. And then clean your stamp. And then now we're going to use the StayOn because this is the material. We are going to use the StayOn. So make sure you ink your StayOn well. Okay, you see I kind of rubbing everywhere. Tapping it. And make sure your StayOn is nice and juicy. And then we are going to stamp. Okay, and I'm going to use my awesome tool, kind of rubbing like this. Okay, and then when I open it, my projection sheet is going to stick on my stamp. That's perfect. That's what exactly I want. So you can kind of just move, or you can just do this. Use your finger, kind of rubbing the back of the piece of paper. Okay, so look at that. Perfect stamp image. And this is on the acetate. Okay, so we're gonna put the die cut on top. We're gonna die cut it. Before you cutting it, make sure or anything is stuck there, you got to clean it. Otherwise, it will prevent you to get the clean cut. So we just kind of eyeball it. Make sure your StayOn is completely dry, and they usually dry pretty fast. Okay, so I'm going to just secure my die cut on that piece of acetate. Make sure they are not moving while I'm run through the machine. Okay, here is something very, very important. Here is your cutting mat, right? So we're going to flip over, and then you are going to use the other one to cut. After you run through the die cut machine, you got to make sure you have a clean cut. That piece of paper, if that piece of paper is cut, that means your projection sheet is cut. If that piece of paper is not cut, that means your projection sheet is not cut. You have to run through the machine a few more times, make sure they are completely cut. Especially if you are using the acetate, acetate is much thicker than the projection sheet. So make sure you use a computer print paper on top of your acetate sheet. As long as that sheet is cut, your acetate is cut. Just give it a try. You will find out it's very useful. Okay, so the next I'm going to just use this letter size and just folding in half, and I'm kind of use reposition tape to secure my die cut here. And remember, we want to do the partial cutting only, so you got to have a narrow die cut plate. And if you don't have it, make sure you watch the video number 228. In that video, I explain to you what's the other option you can do. So since I'm having this one, I'm going to just use it to block it. And this time we don't have to use that $1 million tip because I want to cut the front and the back. Okay, so after you die cut it, you still have a very small area is still attached. So what you're going to do is you're going to just folding it, and then just use your little scissor trimmer, just trimming that extra place, and then they will kind of fall off. So this is what's going to happen is like this, right? Kind of unique, right? So you can choose you want to have a partial die cut, or you can use your detail die to do something like that, or you can do like this. So after I finish this, I try to put the color part back there, and I think this one is actually work well. Well, it depends on who you are making the card. If you're making the card to somebody you love, you can always add a little bit extra. So I kind of cut the piece mirror paper. I'm going to show you to give that rich outline. But if you're making a card for somebody you don't like my sister, that will work. So I'm going to just choose, I think this one, the first one, I think that works well. And then we are going to glue it. But for the background, I'm going to just add a little bit background here, so I'm going to just use these words and just give it kind of look too plain. So I'm going to just rub a little bit color and put your card directly on top and just rubbing with your finger. And then the rest of them is just put all together. So that's my flower here. And then I am going to just use the glue dots to glue that 3 butterfly. So how you're going to do is you can easily trimming off the extra place that you don't need. And then you just folding this butterfly in the half. You can use a double-sided tape, or you can just use a glue dot to pick up the glue dot and put on top of your one of the butterfly. So that extra stamping on the projecting sheet, it definitely add a beautiful touch. I'll make these butterfly really like to fly away. So I'm going to just finish my final project. I'll be right back. Okay, so I just put the foam tape, and these combos are really unique because you can see in the back, I did a lot of extra cut. So what you're gonna do is just poke them out, and then they will pop out. So without doing anything, they actually look kind of 3D. And I'm going to mount on top over that piece of gold mirror cardstock. And almost there. And I have this thank you here. That's just a grab some foam tape like this. And I have some this one. I just got it from the dollar store. I think we have the best dollar store in Vancouver. They sell a lot of craft stuff, and it's really unique. I go there often looking for some nice goodie. Okay. Voila! So let me clean my table. Voila! So this is the one, the gold color. And well, of course, you can make a horizontal too, just to find the different kind of stamp, and then the sentiment you just stamp different way. So any way you like, and this is the silver and this is the gold, and which one you like. So that's today's video. I hope you like it. If you find out you learned something from this video, give me a thumb up. So all the video in 2021 is no commercial. If you give me a thumb up, it helped me to get more information. You like this kind of video, and I will try to create more with this kind of subject. So, and make sure you check the video number 227 and the number 226. See? The same stem set, different kind of technique, they something completely, totally different result. And then make sure you click the link below. I have been using this same stem set to create too many different kind of project. Some of them is not a slimline size. You got to check it out. Just click the link. It will bring you to YouTube channel, or you can visit Low Cooking Online Video Library. There is 200 plus video ready to view. So, hoping you liked today's video, and I know this video is a little bit too long because a lot of information I like to share with you, and then I really try to keep this video short. I'm going to try to do my best. Hoping you liked today's video. Give me a thumb up. Thank you for watching. This is Lisa from Low Cooking Rubber Stand. See you next time. Bye!